Chastain going all the way to the top. They're trying to take advantage of that. He's already recovered from that bad restart to end stage one, and he's got a decision to make. The 41, I think for Ross, it's a foregone conclusion now. How do I get a run on the 8? As you see Sam Mayer trying to fight back.
If you're in Sam Mayer's position, as you're falling back like this, I know it's frustrating, right? But you've got to sort of center yourself and start to just focus on the task at hand. You've lost a ton of positions. How do you just stop the bleeding?
Well, I think as a crew chief, I'm sitting there going, what happened? Yeah. Like, what do we do? Did we make adjustments? Did we not do the right thing as the track changed, as the sun continues to set? But obviously not a great restart here for the 41 car. Let's get a report from Dylan.
Well, and yeah, quickly on Sam Mayer, as we see a good battle for position here between Taylor Gray and Christian Eckes. For the 41 Mayer, Parker, you and I were in the hauler earlier today, and what did he tell us? We need 90% type of days. They've just had one top 10 in the last 6 races, and Sam felt like in order to kind of get back to what they needed, just needed to settle in as we got a caution on the racetrack.
31 is Blaine Perkins going for a ride. Third caution of the night as he hits the grass here in the ball field.
He's deep in the infield here. Let's see how he ended up all the way in there. He was about as far to the middle as you could be.
He brought some debris with him as he came back up to the pit lane.
Looks like all his tires are up. Not much damage. See if this exit off of turn 4 kind of looks like here.
So we're off of 4.
Outside.
Nunziata on the inside.
Yeah,
just gets the left rear.
He got a little hill.
That's how he ended up down there.
Yeah, Blaine's probably not going to be super thrilled with that, but I think with the 70 car, he's just trying the best he can to carry the speed.
Driver Taylor Gray comes through. That wasn't going to work. I like the bump draft here from Chastain into the back of Sammy Smith. Down to the inside, side draft into 1. I would say he's helping. He's just pushing him out of the way so he can drive through.
Thank you to Acceptance Insurance for letting us ride on board through that.
Who else but Ross?
Nobody. That was an awesome move. Just the whole sequence there from off turn 4 to get to the back bumper of Sammy, pushing him, using him, then side drafting and getting the pass completed.
5 Junior Motorsports Chevys in the race tonight. They're all in the top 10.
Mayer and Smith can't get away from each other. This is just like the last restart. They're just dogging each other for this.
Sam just sent it onto the inside there. He's probably going to slide up a little bit here. Finally, he's probably going to complete this pass. That's a welcome sight for him to not be beside the 8 for once.
On board here with Christian Eckes trying to get a run onto the 8 car, running up high, almost probably too high as you hear him back out of the gas. And I think this is the point of the race where the drivers don't quite know where the track is anymore. We've had a few refires, we've had a few cycles, and rubber's gotten pulled up as you see Eric Amarola really laying the air pack here to the 88 car. And guys are trying to figure out what lane they want to run now. You see some guys trying high, trying low, but sometimes you just have to go back to the well and try the bottom.
And one factor that you can see visibly on your screen as we've gone into the nighttime here, this has not happened in the Xfinity Series in many, many years, to be racing here tonight. A lot of teams had no idea what this would bring in terms of handling and how this track would change. Allmendinger and Alex Jans, who's the crew chief, who's done such great things at AJ. I think a lot of people looked at this, including myself, as someone who was going to be, right at the front immediately, and they just had such a tough start to the season, Kim, but they're finally looking like they might be turning it around.
Yeah, and Christian has been great here in trucks. This team has been great here in the past with AJ. And when I checked in with the crew chief, Alex Jans, it was interesting. I kind of asked him to reflect on the first half of the regular season versus where they are now. And he said, the biggest thing I'm trying to instill in Christian is we need to start having fun. He said, I told Christian, you have a job. You don't need to worry about what's next. Right now, you need to make sure you're enjoying yourself, because if you're not, that can start snowballing and then tripping over yourself and having finishes you don't like, and it becomes this big cycle. So right now the goal is for Christian to have fun.
Well, knowing a little bit about Christian, and I can relate to this, I am my harshest critic, and I feel like he's a guy that puts a ton into it. Colin Presley, somebody I've worked with, spots for him, and has told me that, he reminds him of me, right? Just as hard as he works, and it's awesome to hear that, but at the same time, you can absolutely get lost in the game, and this is about having fun. We get to do some pretty incredible stuff, and driving race cars for a living is about as good as it gets, and it's good to see hard work starting to slowly pay off for those guys.
It is weird when it gets too serious sometimes, right? You have to have that check with yourself. Wait a second. I get to drive race cars for a living.
Here's how dedicated he is, though. Alex Jans actually gave him the key to the shop. I mean, that's not normal, right? So 2 to go in the stage. Allgaier leading by 3.2 seconds over Creed. Creed's really doing a good job of collecting much-needed points. Eder and Hill continue to fight for 6th.
Right, that's really big for Sheldon Creed, this W0 team. You know, last week they were put in an awkward position where they had to make an unscheduled stop. They got a lucky caution shot in the back, but had they not gotten that and had a bad finish, they were looking at being outside of the playoffs. Still was on the bubble coming into this race, but points like this, the second place in the stage, absolutely massive for that team to get started going back the right direction in terms of points.
Blaine Perkins trying to stay on the lead lap as we finish stage 2. Allgaier playing nice right now. Even if he goes by, he'd get the free pass, right? Justin Allgaier going to get the stage sweep. 16th time in his career he swept the stages. That's the most all time. But I will say this, only 3 other times has he gone on to win the race. However, 2022, he got the sweep here at Nashville, and he also took the checkered flag. Creed, Almirola, Zilich, Chastain, your top 5. 2 stages down, and a good finish coming. We're live in Nashville on a Saturday night. It's the Xfinity Series on CW.